Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Denver, Colorado. I am here with Timber Ridge Properties. Really, since back in the 1980s, this has been Denver's luxury custom home builder and home enhancement specialist. I'm here with the team locally at the Denver Design District. Share with me, first of all, Jim, if you will, where it is you got involved in this type of industry and how this all got started for you.
Well, we're not originally, I'm an economist, and so I'm not really a home builder until we in the 80s got into the home building business and liked it, enjoyed it, and we just continued and enjoyed it and went through all the cycles, and we're still here today.
You really are in the business of making dreams come true. I mean, quite honestly, this is a company where you view your team as a partnership with the homeowner. Obviously, a lot of listening on the front end, as well as some questions on the front end that put this all together. Is that right?
That's a fact. That's a fact. It's a big picture of putting together that picture for those homeowners, and the things they see, and then you learn to see it the way they see it, and hopefully it all comes out in the end, which it has for the most part.
It's all about pride. We're talking about a team that really takes pride in meeting the expectations of the homeowners. Is this something that is a collaboration of pretty much everybody at the table?
It surely is. We work as a team here at Timber Ridge and try and do or build the best home we can for our homeowners. So.
You all have you have an award-winning reputation for exceeding what people expect out there. Would you say that your success really is in the details and making sure that everything takes care of it for the homeowner out there?
I think it is in the details, and I think you hit on it. We're all about the pride thing, because I think so many home builders are not into the pride thing. They don't take that second look around and say, wow, what's this going to look like when we're done, or how does it come across? And I think it is all about pride.
Wonderful. Obviously, this is a never one-size-fits-all type of situation. This is custom homes that are built for people, really a work of art that becomes an expression of the folks that are in it. Is that important to be able to listen on the front end, making sure that it's a collaboration between your team as well as them also?
Of course. We have a whole staff, and we all work closely together, and everybody works with the homeowner, and we get their dream built.
What are some of the areas throughout Denver where your team is able to create and also really set the platinum standard for the entire neighborhood?
We had primarily been in the southeast area, but now we've moved across the metro area, and we're building in the west side. We're building up north. So we're glad in this the lull of the last 5 years that we could expand into some areas that we hadn't been into before.
One of the things I see is that, I mean, as a person out there who's wanting to build a home, it's a very exciting time. Yet at the same time, it can be very overwhelming. And you're really there to walk their hand through it in really a home building 101. Let's start first of all, how important is it for them to have the budget set up, have relationships set up with the bank, and is that something you can help them with?
We surely do help them with that. We work a budget based on their ideas after we do some sketches and some drawings. And then we hold their hand through the whole process. If they need help with financing, we have contacts. And we work with them every step of the way on selections for all the finishes in the house, all the way from the concrete up to the chimney. So it's a very personal relationship, and Timber Ridge is there every step of the way.
Speaking of personal, we're talking about personal choices. One of those has to be location, location, location. We're talking about undeveloped areas, developed areas, communities, schools. Are these areas that really can affect the overall happiness of people in their home later to coming?
Of course. Well, we're happy to be in an area that has a good economy at this point in time. And that said, there's lots of booming areas in Denver right now. And we pick and choose and kind of where we want to build and find the right lots and locations for our homeowners to be.
I think one of the funnest steps has to be picking out the style. I mean, picking a style, is this really where you break open the magazines and start putting the pictures together? And are these really tools that end up helping your team create that vision?
Well, it's Colorado has been a brick and stone mecca. I mean, it always has been. People, when they come to Colorado, they expect to see those steep pitched roofs and stone and wood, and that's what we've concentrated in. There's becoming a lot more homes in the contemporary areas now, but I think the Western mountain traditional is still a big thing for Colorado home buyers.
They say that it takes a village to raise a child. You would probably say that it takes a professional team to raise a house. Share with me some of these pieces of your team and even outside part of your network.
Well, around this table, we gather once a week with our crew, some great superintendents. We have a draftsman who's truly an artist, who's been with Jim for a long time. She can take ideas right off of magazine pages, right off of Houzz, right off of Pinterest, right off the websites that people enjoy, and convert to drawings that we start from. We have a great little accountant. We have Daviana, who does all our website and social media. So that's our basic team, and then it stretches out to all our subcontractors, many who have been with us for years, talents that we're very proud to brag about. Good talents.
For a builder out there, or folks that are looking for a builder, obviously they need to go through their due diligence. What would you tell them to look for as they're looking for a builder?
I think reputation, and reputation comes from your past customers. And I think referrals. I think that it behooves anyone that's going to build a home to call and take referrals from people we've already built for, or another builder in the same situation, because it doesn't matter if you're getting your lawnmower repaired or what you're doing. You need references. You need referrals. You need to know that that builder is going to take care of you. And have they built homes for people for quite a while? Did they take care of problems that they cropped up? And I think that's the important part.
The vision has been set, budget's been set, planning's done. We're now going into the building process. How important is it to keep the communication lines open between the homeowner and your team? I mean, is this fun for them to be out checking out on the site? And is it actually important for them to be out there as well from time to time?
Well, it's definitely a process that we continue to work with them. As things come up, there will be issues that you have to deal with along the way. And we encourage them to come on site, and we walk the home at various stages so that they're aware what's going on in their home. If they have input, we want them to share that input with us so that we can create the home that they want.
Creating the home that they want, like we said at the beginning, you create dreams and bring them to reality. The final step there is the final walkthrough. It's got to be exciting for them, but also rewarding for your team. Is that a part of the process that you enjoy?
Oh, of course. We put together a whole homeowner's package, and they have everything there to look at, and seeing their eyes light up, and it's their dream home. It just fills us with pride.
Wonderful. We're talking about a turnkey process. Smooth, stress-free. This really has to be a relationship between you and the homeowner. This is something that takes place the first time they sit at the table. And where does it end?
Well, smooth and stress-free, we definitely have some bumps in the road, and we try and make those smooth out as much as we can. But our main goal in the end is to become friends with our homeowners. We don't just finish your home and goodbye. We will be with you for years. We're there to help you with anything that goes wrong. And I know Jim and Mary Ann have become great friends with some of our homeowners and still are today.
Last thing out there, we'll have a lot of folks who are basically not only building a custom home for the first time, maybe they've got a home that they want to enhance. Maybe they want to put a theater in, possibly an entertainment room, a wine room. Share with me some of the enhancement that you're able to do for folks.
We're able to do a lot for folks. Anything from, we have a remodel going on right now that's going to probably push $10 million. So we can go all the way up to that, or as small within reason that they would want to do. But I think it's the ideas they see in other people's home, and it's not necessarily everyone's cup of tea to build a brand new home. And some of them have a home that they'd like to enhance and live in it, and they like their neighborhood, they like the place they live, and they just want to make it look nicer, and we're happy to do that with them. I said one of the greatest compliments we got is when people come to us and they'll say, we'd like to timber ridge our home, which using it in that as an adjective really makes it enjoyable and makes us proud.
So excellent, be it a theater room, which would be one of my dreams of a great theater room, but really the heart of the home anymore. I see a lot of great innovation within kitchens. I mean, there's so much out there that it's not only the place where everyone gathers, but it's a great place where it's functional yet beautiful.
New appliances, new decor, backsplash tiles, kitchen hoods out of limestone. Gosh, you really don't even need a lot of space to turn a kitchen around and make it really profound. And then it is the center of the family activity. We do a lot of bathrooms, too. A master bathroom is something that drives it. You mentioned areas. Wine cellars are so hot. We add garages, and those garages become the man cave. You'd be surprised how many fellows want someplace really special in a garage. The sky's the limit. Whatever they want to do, let's talk.
So not only is it inside the home anymore, but even outdoor living. People are expanding across the entire outdoor area. What are some of the enhancements that can take place there?
Pools, cabanas, barbecues, outdoor living, pergolas, patio covers, I mean, you name it. Anything that they have interest, if they just like to spend time out on their backyards, we can enhance it and make it a more comfortable spot for living.
Wonderful. When you begin back in the 80s, we now fast forward where people realize their choices are important, not only in their homes, but for the planet. Going green, that's a lot you hear out there, a buzzword. Is this something you can help with as well?
We can help with it. It's a thing that's maybe not done as heavily as it's talked about because the costs associated with it. And so each time we sit down with people and they discuss these things, we just advise them that we take a look at all the costs that are associated with it and let them make that decision.
Wonderful. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. On the website, first of all, you learn a little bit more about the story. This is a company that began back in the 80s, has advanced to become really one of the award-winning home builders here. We're talking about luxury custom homes, home enhancements. Marion, we're talking about consecutive years that you've actually been awarded, not only from your own peers, but the community. How does that make you feel?
It's all about pride. We were recognized by House as Best of House in 2014. We've been a notable builder in Denver 2014 and 2013. We had some recognition in some Parade of Homes activities. We brag every chance we get, and we are real happy when people brag about us.
It's all about pride. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and if you don't know, now you know. This is Gary Atencio with CNTV, and today we're in Fort Collins, Colorado. I'm here at Foothills Painting. Since 2010, this premier painting company has been providing the best in quality and customer service all along the Front Range. I'm here with the co-founders, Ben, Eric. Thanks for joining us, guys. Let's start off a little bit about you guys. You're Colorado natives. Both you guys got your formal education right here in the college hometown. Yep. Share with me, Eric, what got you involved in this line of work?
Actually, when I was in college at CSU, I worked with a national painting company, CollegeWorks Painting, who hires college students, then trains them and helps them run a painting company over the spring and summer. So I did that as an internship when I was a freshman at CSU. I ended up working with that company for the next 5 years through school. When I got out of school, I really wanted to be an entrepreneur, and one thing I knew how to do was run a painting company.
So. Wonderful. Ben, how did you get involved here with Eric as well?
Actually, yeah, same thing. I also did CollegeWorks Painting my freshman year of college, and I did that for a year, and I was promoted, and then I chose to not take the promotion, and I heard Eric was starting up his own company, and I always looked up to him and really wanted, kind of loved what he had to say and do, and so I chose to kind of go on with him and kind of go with him, and I've been a sales rep for him first, and then I took over ownership about like a year and a half ago. So.
Wow. Yeah. Interesting, great. Quite honestly, there's probably nothing more than we can do that is noticeable than putting a fresh coat of paint on our home, be it exterior or interior. Is this kind of a fun process to help that transformation come alive?
Yes, and one thing that I think I've really enjoyed about the growth of our business is just we really believe in taking care of our employees and our customers. So paint jobs don't always go smooth in the construction business, and I think everyone's really familiar with that. What we take a lot of pride in is just really taking care of our customers and making sure we make everybody happy, no matter what happens on different jobs. We've got a bunch of rain going on right now, and that throws off the schedule, so it's really important to us to just take care of our customers. So that's what I enjoy the most, is actually creating a business that really takes care of the customers through the process. And obviously we want to make sure that the house looks great at the end. So one thing we did this year is we brought on like a full-time color consultant to help people choose their colors and really enjoy the colors that they pick, to make sure that the end product is great, but also that the process was smooth and a good experience for them.
Wonderful. Speaking of the process, they say the devil is in the details, and that really is one place that you can differentiate between the professional versus an amateur. We're talking about the details before the even paint goes on, preparation. Let's talk about that. How important is that in the longevity of a job?
Yeah, that's a really good question, Gary. Prep work is like probably 90% of the whole process. What's underneath the paint is going to really depend how long the paint job lasts. If you don't prep right, if you maybe cut corners and don't get the old paint off before the painting, it's just not going to last as long. So we pride ourselves in taking the time to make sure that before the paint goes on, all the cruddy or all the stuff below the paint is really removed. That's taking off the old paint with scraping. That's priming the bare wooded areas, and that's caulking. Any cracks, nail holes, among other things.
So we're talking about full power washing on the exterior, caulking, scraping, sanding. These are all steps that probably take a good amount of time. And is this something that a lot of folks, sometimes other competitors possibly don't do well?
I think so, definitely. It's easy to cut corners, and it's what we found is that it's really easy not to. And you can definitely tell, when you walk up to a house, we'll go and do an estimate on a house that it was only painted 2 or 3 years ago, and it's really apparent when people skip the prep work, and you can even tell right when a job is finished if those things were skipped over. And it does take time, but it doesn't take that much time to do it right, and that's what we really want to make sure we do, is make sure that we're doing it right.
So it's a lot more than just taping up as a consumer would see it. I mean, sometimes you actually have to replace boards that are possibly warped by the weather, and is that something a lot of times the consumer doesn't even realize?
Yeah, and that's part of our estimate process. I think a lot of companies kind of drop off a number and a quick bid, and something we like to do is actually sit down with our customers, walk around the house, identify the different problems that are on the house, let them know if there are boards that they need to consider replacing before there's any painting done. And actually walk around the house and customize the quotes for the customers, because it's not very often that you actually walk around your house and really inspect it, in a lot of detail. And that's part of our estimate process, is walking our customers around and doing that.
So not only walking out on the outside, but if you're doing an interior job, I imagine you have to, even much more importance because of the fact you have valuables within the home. We're talking about furniture that needs to be covered as well as the valuables. Is that something that you take pride in?
Yeah, I mean, that's huge, is the prep work for inside. I mean, people are inside a lot more than they are on the outside of their house, and so it's very important to make sure all valuables are taken off the wall, and all things are really moved to the middle, where we can drop cloth over those and then mask over those drop cloths. Just make sure there's no room for error in that, everything is really masked off well. And that's also why Eric touched on the color consultant, because color is a huge part of the interior as well, and that's why we brought him on this year, is to really make sure people are taken care of and really find the colors that they're going to look at and live with for the next 5, 10, 20 years.
Wonderful. Okay, so the preparation is totally complete. We're ready to put some paint on there. Is this paint that the customers sat down and already chosen with you? And what are some of the brands that you guys recommend?
Primarily, we'll use Qual and Sherwin-Williams. We do have customers sometimes request different types of paint, which we are always happy to take care of, and we can do that. But primarily Sherwin-Williams and Qual. And there's a range of different types of paint. And that's something that we also do at the estimates, inform the customers of what their options are and what we recommend using depending on what their needs and wants are. For example, someone who's trying to, keep it inexpensive so that they can make the house look nice to sell, we're not going to recommend that they go with the top of the line paint. Someone who's planning on being in this house for a long time and they want to paint it and not have to paint for a long time, we're going to recommend a higher end paint. So, it really is a tailored estimate to whatever people's needs are. And then as far as the colors of the paint, again, we have a color consultant. We do test swatches and make sure that people like the colors before we're going on and painting the whole house.
So really, it's taking a customized approach with each customer out there as well. I mean, quite honestly, the weather changes on a dime here in Colorado. We've got snow one day, rain the next day. Does this particular weather really cause havoc not only on the exterior of the home, but what about on the fences that are around these homes? And is that something you guys provide for as well?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, fences and decks take a really pretty bad beating. Stain is not as protective as paint is. It actually penetrates wood versus paint sits on top, and so it's a better covering, better protection to paint. So, but stain looks great. You have a better looking. Or I guess I shouldn't say better looking, but some people like that stain look more, where you can see the wood look a bit more.
Right.
And so yeah, big thing with stain products and fences and decks is making sure you take the time to really power wash the old flaking stain off and really getting out the old kind of blackened areas with a wire brush or sanding before you lay on that coat of stain.
So you're going to open up the pores so the paint comes in as well. Interior, exterior, residential. What about commercial property? Is this something you guys are able to service as well?
Yeah, we do small to medium size, I would say. We haven't tackled any gigantic, commercial projects, but we have started to do more and more of that. We did the Campus West apartments and a couple pharmacies and some things like that. So, there's definitely a need there. I think there's even more problems in the commercial side of the painting business as far as people not doing what they say they're going to do and fulfilling what their promises are and doing things on time and keeping a schedule. And sometimes it's even more important on commercial projects to do that. So there's definitely a need there, and we've always focused on residential until really like the last year and a half or so. We started doing more and more commercial work, and we expect to continue to do more commercial painting as well as continuing to grow our residential side of our painting business.
Fantastic. And one of the reasons, obviously, that you're successful is the fact that you're upfront about everything, not only a verbal, but as well as a written. What takes place at that estimate, and what do you provide back for the folks before you actually get on the job?
So basically, when we're going around the house, so we meet with customers, we sit down with them, we talk with them about some basic things, we walk around the house and identify some of those problem areas. As we're going around, we're also, recommending different solutions to things to come up with their options. So we find that it's usually really useful for customers to see a range of options, to actually choose from. So once we've done that, we take some time to walk around the house and measure it and write up all the different options that we can provide for them. And all of that gets written up on our written agreement, so that there's nothing left out. Usually as I'm going around the house with customers, I'm taking notes. And so our estimators are taking notes to make sure that there's nothing that is missed. And once customers schedule with us, we make sure all of those things are all written down so that there's no loss of communication from the time that the job is scheduled all the way through the completion of the job, to make sure the painters know exactly what's being done, and all those things are written. So I think that's really important.
And is this an estimate that is free for the consumer?
Of course.
Okay, so you guys come out, do all this beforehand, communicate what it's going to cost, and upfront about everything. Let me ask you this. Obviously, you're talking about paint that gets worn from a home outside. What about new construction? Is this a place where it's pretty important to get it done right the first time?
Yeah, I think anything it's best to do right the first time. A lot of times, though, what we found with new construction is, they're trying to get it done so inexpensively. We've never found ourselves doing a lot of new construction for builders because they're trying to get these houses done for as low a cost as they can. So we've never even been able to be low enough on price to be able to compete on these jobs because they just want the prices so low. If you're doing your own home and like custom home, I think it is worth paying a little extra money to get it done right, because you see a lot of these houses that were built only 5 or 6 years ago, and the paint's chalking and fading, and it looks terrible very, very quickly, and it shouldn't be falling apart that quickly.
Excellent. Viewers, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. What you're going to see is their website. First of all, on the website, you can take a look at the different services they offer out there. Check out the testimonials. You're going to find them on Facebook. You're going to find them online. Contractors, they really are able to stand behind their labor, or they're able to stand behind their product. You guys are actually, with your warranty, you pretty much are standing behind both.
Yeah, there's a lot of fine print with warranties, and with our warranty, we take care of every customer who calls us. If you painted with us and you have an issue with your paint job, we're going to come and take care of it. And inside of the agreement for a 2-year or 5-year warranty, and oftentimes if a customer calls us up and it's been a little longer than that, we still choose to take care of our customers, because that's important to us, is taking care of our customers, and we want repeat business, we want to be referred, and we want our paint jobs to last. So.
Excellent. Has this been a rewarding line of work for you so far, watching people's houses really transform before your eyes? And what area of Colorado here are you guys able to work within?
Yeah, I mean, it's very rewarding. I think it's more rewarding just running just a sound business that people enjoy working with. Business, I don't know, I guess there's not as good contractors out there, and so it's fun to just take care of people. And things go wrong, like problems happen, and we just always take care of those problems, and we make sure that people feel like taken care of, and even when things do go wrong, we fix them. So that's a big thing for us, yeah.
Excellent. Viewers, last time, take a look at the bottom of the screen right there. You're going to see their contact information. It's really as simple as getting online, filling out the form there, and they will come out and do a free estimate for you. This is a company that began back in 2010 by some Colorado natives right here in Fort Collins, Colorado. That is Foothills Painting. Quality, integrity, and commitment to you. This is Gary Atensi with CNTV. And if you don't know, now you know.